Hello guys, Ian Altosaar Freedom Astrologer once again here, recording another video. And this time, this is not going to be about astrological configuration. This is going to be more about our own human psychology, and maybe even we can go as far as to say that it's also to do with our kind of spiritual development as well. Now, I've been working on something internally quite a lot, and then understanding my own deeper patterns that I kind of go towards and what I use. And a lot of this meditative state that I've been in has led me to this kind of more deeper understanding about this topic I want to present to you today. And I hope this kind of helps to understand maybe some of your own ideas about yourself and what you've created. So the kind of general theme or topic of this video is the identities we create for ourselves. Now, and by identity, I mean something that we create in our minds about ourselves, or even, outwardly in the world in a material form, in order to get something or to achieve something. Now, this is quite big and quite important to understand. The identity is something we create for ourselves, or an illusion of ourselves that we create in order to achieve something or get something in the outward world or internally as well. Now, I'm going to use let's say a very common one that I think most people can relate to, or a lot of people can at least understand. And I'm going to bring in other examples of this as well. So let's use being famous or being in the public eye, because a lot of these days a lot of people are in the public eye. Their social media, their videos, their the businesses we create and we promote, and we build brands. A lot of us build brands to create, to promote these ideas, to promote the ideas that we have, to promote our businesses, etc., etc. And some people even create identities to be influencers on social media, to build audiences, again, to get something. Now, why is this important? Why is it even bad, or why is it even important for us to understand? Whenever we start to create something for the sake of wanting to get something out of it, that energy or that persona, that identity, is kind of at its core, or at its foundation. You can understand that we're creating it to get something out of it. You can see that the core foundation of that already is kind of messed up. And whenever we start from that kind of perspective or point of view, we're creating something that isn't true. We're creating something fake in order to get something out of it, meaning also that we're creating something that is not truly ourselves. Now, you might be asking, okay, so why is that so bad? Why is it even important? And one of the reasons why this is important, because if you do that long enough, you will start to get really tired, and it will start to weigh on the person itself, and it kind of starts to consume or take over the person as well. So everything they start to do or start to be, as they start to do it because they need to uphold that identity that they have created. So for example, a celebrity, maybe a bigger celebrity, has created identity that they are like this, that they are this kind of showman, maybe they are this funny man. They need to be constantly funny in every appearance, every public appearance they do, to uphold that identity. Now you can imagine that can start getting really tiring. Or let's say a fitness model or a fitness trainer, on YouTube or whatever it is, wherever platform it is. They need to keep up the appearance or the identity of I'm fit, I'm happy, I'm funny, I'm kind of sparky, whatever it is that they've created for themselves, or in order to get that attention, in order to get that love from the outside, or at times this can be getting financial means, financial resources, because that's at its core it's still love as well, and survival. Now what happens if they in their minds, what happens if they can't uphold that standard, or uphold that identity? First and foremost, before we go into that, we need to understand, why is this even happening? Why are we creating these identities? Why are these people, myself included, why are we trying to create these identities instead of being ourselves in the world? Well, a lot of that identity creation comes from the desire of being loved or getting attention. Again, I'm going to say this once more because it's really important. A lot of that desire to create those identities comes from the fact that we want to get love, money, resources, attention. We want to get something outside to fill ourselves up. And we think, we're not good enough on its own, so we need to create some sort of identity to get those needs met, or financial, love, attention needs met from the outside. Hope that makes sense, guys. If it doesn't, go back and repeat it. I'm not going to do it again. But this is at the core of the reason why people are actually doing this, and why there is this huge demand for creating identities. People are creating identities to basically sell, in order to even let's go a little bit further. We're creating these identities in order to sell things to other people who perceivably want those identities, or want to be those identities themselves. So they want that, what you are, or what the person is. This is at the core of this, and hope it makes sense to you. And again, at the core of this is still, everybody's wanting to get their needs met, everybody wanting to get their love, attention kind of needs met. So this is also very important for us to understand if we're going to be able to kind of navigate those identities, and observe and to see how to step out of those identities, and be ourselves in this kind of, we can say, in this kind of wild and crazy space in today's world, because a lot of people are creating these identities online. Like I can, say that I've created, a brand or something called, Ian Altosaar Freedom Astrology. Yeah, there's a good story behind it, and kind of why I decided to call it Ian the Freedom Astrologer. But I wanted to kind of bring this example as well, so you can understand that this is also an identity that I've kind of created, that I need to uphold. I do astrology in a way that I need to provide people with the freedom. And this is the identity. It's very easy to kind of start creating that identity. And one of the reasons why I have these kind of, masks in or to the left of me is because these are the identities we actually create and make for ourselves. And they don't happen on their own, because we decide to make them, we decide to create them, we decide to put them out there in order to sell something, create something. Even if there are let's say honorable intentions behind that, it's still identity, or an identity that we create for ourselves, that we make for ourselves, that isn't always completely true, because we can't be perfect all the time. We can't be fit all the time. We can't be healthy all the time. We can't be calm, peaceful, free all the time. So if we're putting that identity out there that we like think gets us love, or gets us attention, or gets us our needs met, it's still something that is going to be weighing on us somewhere in the back of our minds, because it's not constantly who we are, you know. So it gets tiring for us to keep that identity up or uphold that image of ourselves. And this you can see in every industry, especially obviously in the entertainment industry, in every kind of public area where a person needs to put something out there to kind of present themselves in a way that is, you know, likable, presentable, whatever it is that they need to do in order to get that attention or their needs met. Because even if they're doing it for a goal or kind of like a long-term goal, they're still wanting to get that goal, and they're kind of creating that identity for themselves. So this is, I hope now it starts to make sense, and it kind of, the way I describe it is helpful and useful for you guys. And now, you know, I wanted to bring one more example, because I think it's one of the interesting ones, and one of the maybe lesser known ones, because it's something comes so naturally to us. But this example is becoming a parent, or being a parent, because being a parent, a mom or a dad, can also become an identity. So again, I'm a good mom, I'm a good dad in the world. I am a dad, I am a mom. This is also identity. Because let's say, you know, when your children grow up and they, you know, go out to nest, go out to live their own personal, you know, independent lives, what are you then? You're still a mom, you know, kinda, but you know, you being that kind of hands-on, everyday kind of nurturing mom or dad, that identity is actually not even there anymore. And if you're very, very much attached to that identity, you know, kind of losing that in the real world will actually hurt as well. So this is kind of like the second part as well. So whenever we create those very strong identities, there are two things. The first thing is obviously the part that I already discussed, that it gets really tiring, you have to uphold it, you might not even be you. And the second part is, if you attach so much to that, let's say, idea of who you are, being a mom, being a dad, that outside idea of something becoming you, and now all of a sudden it starts to evaporate, starts to go. This means that you will suffer. you will feel pain, you will feel a lot of suffering. Because letting go of those identities, those things that we think are us, you know, first and foremost, that is already painful. To let go of something we have thought in our minds that is us. So imagine like a part of ourselves, part that we've developed into thinking that is us, is now leaving. It's like a rapturing, it's like a pulling away. So that is always painful. And now the second part is because, you know, that identity that we've created for ourselves is getting us something. So I'm a good mom, I'm a good dad, and this means I get love. I get love from my children, I get love from society, because I'm a good dad and I'm a good mom. And now that's no longer there. That's going to be painful as well. Now, this doesn't mean you can't be a good dad, good mom, good celebrity, good famous person, good, you know, presenter, good astrologer. It doesn't mean that. It just means that there's another way of doing things, and that is more, let's say, natural, that is more kind of fluent, that is more us, let's put it that way. And that is stepping away, first and foremost. And one of the things I've had to do in all of this with my own personal transformation and through my own personal understanding of this is to ask the question, what am I getting out of this identity? So this question is one of the maybe more crucial parts of this video, is to start first and foremost understand what is happening, that I'm creating these identities about myself in the world, and these are kind of weighing me down. Now, if you understand that, the next step will be to ask, what am I getting out of this identity? If I'm a good mom, if I'm a good dad, what am I getting? If I'm the freedom astrologer, if I'm the celebrity, if I'm the fitness model, if I'm perfect all the time, if I'm, the funny man, the hot one, the sexy one, the beautiful one, whatever it is, it might be in your case, the good one. This is a very, popular one to build yourself up. Maybe your sibling is the bad one, so to speak. Maybe your co-workers are the bad ones. You will build up the identity of I am the good one. I do all my work properly. These are all identities that we create for ourselves. And it's not about not doing your work properly. It's you making it so that you can never do anything other than that. And this is what I mean by upholding that identity. Because when you ask the question, what am I getting out of this identity? You're going to get those answers. And it also means whenever you let go of that identity, you will lose that in your mind. So if I'm not good for a day or two, if I don't do my work for a day or two or a week, I'm going to lose that attention or that love that my boss is going to give me. If I'm not funny for this show, the audience is not going to love me. I'm not going to get that attention that I seek so desperately. So I'm desperately funny, I'm desperately hot, I'm desperately sexy. I have something to uphold here, or I will get my needs met. Hope it makes sense for you guys. Hope this kind of dissecting and this kind of question helps you as well. Take a step back if you're starting to get tired, and maybe notice yourself in what I'm speaking of, and ask yourself this question: what am I getting out of this identity? Most crucial, most important, and this actually will help you create a lot more freedom in your life. To understand, why are you doing the things you're doing? Why are you, let's say, working yourself to the brim, or being funny constantly, or going to the gym so desperately every day? Meantime, you're feeling really tired and want to take a break. Ask this question, guys. Hopefully it makes sense. Please let me know in the comments below if it does, and how it works, and having noticed identities. What are your identities? What are the identities you have created for yourself? Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, share, all that's good stuff. Let me know the identities. What have you done to kind of starting to release those? And Ian Altosaar, the Freedom Astrologer, out, and see you soon in the next video.